Drill skill number 7 is about the most 3 magical words in small business. The 3 little words that will put more cash in your cash drawer than any other 3 words in the whole dictionary or that you find on the internet. You can do all the Googling that you want to do, but these 3 words is what's going to make the profits for you. And these 3 words are, by the way. Yep, just plain old by the way. Because when you have those as a part of your DNA and your sales team has those as a part of their DNA, here's what happens. You will learn then the advantages and the power, the real power to put profits into your bottom line when you're able to say, and by the way, Mr. Customer, we also do this and we also do that. That's called upselling. And upselling is where we can learn to stack our profits. Now, don't they have a nice ring to it, stacking profits? You sell that customer an item, you make a little bit of money. But if after they buy that item, if you are able to say, and by the way, we have this that matches that and goes with it and helps make it more functional. And by the way, we have this and the story that goes with that. And I've also got these, by the way, that will help it do even more. Before you know it, that one item has turned into 5 or 6 items. And your profit has moved from $10 to $200 sometimes. Let me tell you, if you're able to stack your profits and use buy sales to have the smaller group of customers buy a lot more merchandise or services, then that is profitability in your business. I had a customer, a client a few years ago that came to my seminars, and the week after we talked about this, they came in to report to the rest of the group that was in the seminar that week they had for the first time structured a by the way campaign with the owners, the husband and wife and their 2 employees, to make sure that every customer that week had an opportunity for upsells and the by the way. So the key here was they forecasted and put the merchandise next to items so that it'd be easy to point them out and easy to get the shopper to see them or see the ideas. So there was planned merchandise that had a lot to do with this. And they reported that week they had 90 some customers, and then they wonder how many of them took advantage of the upsell opportunity. The answer was all of them but 2. 97 customers bought more products when just asked about by the way. Now, I want to tell you, when they were telling this, they were so excited. They said it was the most exciting thing that ever happened to them in business. Because for 4 or 5 years, they didn't know this. And then after 1 week of doing this, they've seen their sales skyrocket and their profits as well. Now, I'll tell you, as a coach or as a teacher, it brought tears to my eyes because they were so sincerely happy. And I was so pleased to be able to be the person that shared that with them. When you come to these seminars, you'll learn a lot of stuff like that you can put right to work in your business as well. By the way, help you upsells, help you make more money. Now let's talk about the something fun. Let's go fishing. Let's talk about how to catch fish if you're out there on the ocean. I fished for 25 years and didn't catch fish but for 20. First 5 years I didn't catch anything because I knew how to run the boat, didn't run aground. I'm an ex-Coast Guardsman, but I didn't know the small techniques about how to get that fish in the boat. So one day finally I invited some other captains from the marina to go out. I bought the beer, I bought the bait, I bought the gas, and they kept the fish, and I finally talked them into giving me some tips. You know, those fishing captains, they don't like to give away their little secrets, but with that incentive, they went out fishing with me. Well, they watched all the ways I was wasting time and wasting energy and not doing things right. And that's a story I'll tell you during the seminar. But the bottom line was, what they told me was, quit wasting all this time doing other things and you keep fresh bait in the water. When you get a fish in, you put fresh bait on, get it right back out, and keep your other lines out in the water. Because when you're at the right place, the fish are biting in the right time and you don't find them often. So you take advantage of it by making sure you got your bait in the water. Steve, what's that got to do with small business? Everything. Because what do you need to do to catch customers? Same logic. The ocean is full of fish and your area is full of customers, what do you need to catch customers? You keep fresh bait in the water. And the fresh bait that you're going to keep in the water are your promotions. Sending out messages to your customers about what you have to sell, your profit centers, and why the customers need to come and see you. Staying on top of your marketing campaign, always sending out messages about what you have to sell is a key factor to keeping those customers coming in. Keep fresh bait in the water by keep sending out fresh promotions. Number 9 is the question that is most often asked by new small business owners. And that question is, how can I find customers, Steve? How can I find them and invite them to come and do business with me? And how can I find them and get the information to send them emails? And it's always gets back to how can I find customers? And it's the easiest question anybody asks me to answer. And the answer is you help them find you. In other words, you want your marketing effort to be one that's like a magnet that draws people to you. If your marketing effort is all about you going out there and shaking every hand or knocking on every door, which needs to be done sometimes, but that's going to cost you a lot of money and eat up a lot of time. So how do you find customers? You help them find you. And you help them find you by you using targeted advertising and marketing efforts. You use the right kind of web pages, the right kinds of SEO information on your website. You help customers find you by sending out those right messages that draw them in. And we give a seminar that focuses on how to find those customers. I'd like to invite you to come to whenever you have a chance. Help the customers find you. Makes your business be like a magnet instead of you having to go out in the world and capture each and every one of them. On a very serious note, something that you need to resonate right down into the rock solid part of your cornerstones of your business, and that is to always remember, make it a part of your DNA, that we can't be all things to all people. As small business entrepreneurs, we are not the Target stores. We're not the Walmart stores. We're definitely not Amazon. So we can't try to be all things to all people. And once you start doing that, you're going to waste a ton of money and a lot of effort and have a lot of disappointments because you took that route. I want to suggest to you that you try to be everything to some people. Yeah, be good at what you're doing, and those customers that you are serving, you become everything to them. So when they think about buying a car, they think about your dealership. Or when they think about needing an accounting service, they think about your office. Or whatever it is that you're doing, your customers need to know you as the provider. You're the go-to person in their life, in their business life. When you start creating yourself in your business as the everything to some people, then you start creating raving fan customers. And it takes a lot of stress away from you when you know that you've got familiar customers doing it. Just while I've been shooting this video today, I've had 4 phone calls from people from 4 different states buying 4 different items for different things. These are raving fan customers that are coming back. I'm not having to chase them. So being everything to some people, giving them first-class service is all about staying in business for a lot of years. So what I want you to write down is, I cannot be all things to all people, but I have to be everything to some people. Now let's talk about money and cash flowing in your business. A big mistake that some people make, and this is item number 11, the biggest mistake that a lot of people make in their business is that they buy something, have to finance it. The minute they buy it, they're worried about being in debt and start trying to pay it off as soon as possible. So the rule here is that I want you to write down is, do not pay off long-term debt with short-term cash flow. When you buy something, before you buy it and go into debt for it, you want to make sure that it pays for itself. Your plan, your business plan, those dots you connected told you to buy it because it would pay for itself over a long term. So finance it for as long as it takes to stay right side up with your loan. But don't go right back and start using your everyday cash flow to try to pay that loan off early. If you keep doing that, you will run out of your cash flow money. You'll run short and not be able to pay your current bills because you were trying to pay a long-term debt off early. Be real careful with that. There's 2 lessons here to do. Never get upside down on a debt. That means never get yourself in a situation that what you are paying money on is not worth what you owe on it. And how do you do that? You make enough down payment that you make sure your paper is always solid. And then when you make a determination on how long to finance it for, if you think it's going to last 3 years before it starts giving trouble and costing you more money, then finance it for 3 years. If it's got a 5-year warranty on it, finance it for 5 years. But let some fast-talking salesman talk you into financing for 7 or 10 years just because you don't save some monthly income. That's a quicksand hole to get into because eventually you'll be upside down with that paper, and that's not a good thing. What you want to write down is do not pay off long-term debt with short-term cash flow. So next on the line here is number 12. Yep, number 12. Did you know there's a difference in the 2 words marketing and advertising? They really mean different stuff. And for years, I just thought I could plug one into the sentence and pull the other one out and switch them back and forth. But now, let's be a little bit more sophisticated and define the difference in marketing and advertising because it's important to you. Marketing is the big, long-term picture. It's what you show to your customers year in and year out, and it's your efforts to make sure that your community of customers know that you're alive and well and that you want their business, that you're hungry, and their business will appreciate it. It's that message that you're always sending out. It's that radar message that's always going out saying, we're here, we're alive, we're in your community, please keep sending us your business. Marketing would be the t-shirts that you give to the softball team. Marketing is your billboard beside the road. Marketing is the little signs that you put out next to intersections. It's your business cards. It's your website. It's the things that you're going to keep going 365 days a year. Advertising, and now we're going to call it targeted advertising. Advertising is a piece of the marketing pie. Yep, just a piece of it. So your advertising budget will always be smaller than your marketing budget. You need a marketing budget, but you also need to know what part of that's going to be advertising. Advertising is the money you spend to promote certain products at certain times, at certain prices, for a certain time period. That's targeted advertising. And that would be bigger ads with pictures in it, special messages that you do from time to time when you're promoting a new product, when it's the season that you're in. We talk about all the difference in marketing and advertising and how to make it work in a lot of different individual seminars. So plan to attend some of those. But here's the question I usually get. Steve, how much money do I need to plan to spend on advertising? Well, number one is you do need to plan to spend money. You're not going to get heat out of a wood-burning stove unless you put wood in it. And you're not going to get results out of a marketing or advertising plan unless you invest. It is an investment. And the number that I want you to start thinking about is 6.5% as a good place to start. You think what your goal is for revenue on this profit center that you're getting ready to promote. What is your goal for revenue income? And multiply that times 6.5%, and that'll be a good place for you to start thinking about how much to invest. That's a reasonable amount to put into an advertising campaign when you're kicking off. Some people will spend a whole lot more money than that, but if you spend any less, you're probably going to get very, very poor results.